Are you struggling with main idea questions, students? If yes, don't worry. After today's class, you will not struggle at all. And this class will not only help you solve main idea questions within 2 minutes, very quickly that is, but also these concepts will help you to solve questions like primary purpose, organizational structure, tone of the passage. Basically, any question which requires you to understand the entire passage. You can't just read 2 to 3 lines to answer the question quickly. Any question which is very time consuming, according to you, will not be time consuming anymore after this class. And so let us understand the concept, students. Main idea, concept, strategy, and some practice questions. Today this class is mainly for the strategy. Of course, we are going to see some 4 to 5 examples. Tomorrow, once you learn the strategy, tomorrow we are going to practice together each and every question in live class, so that I'll know how much you have learned and where you are going wrong, right? Okay, so let's get started, students. Main idea questions. Now, what is a main idea question? The main idea question means what is there in the passage, the overall summary of the passage. But of course, we cannot spend 5 to 7 minutes just on this question, that we'll read the entire passage, solve the question, maybe get the correct answer, right? So, and also how exactly these questions are asked. So these questions are asked in a way, if you can see on this side, which of the following best states the central idea of the passage, or what is the principal topic of the passage, what is the tone of the passage, what is the main topic, right? And as I said, these questions will definitely help you, or this concept will definitely help you with the primary purpose and organizational structure also, if you just follow this technique I am going to give you. Now, students, what is the strategy? First of all, read the question thoroughly. Then, of course, very important thing is, see, today we are just learning the concept, but in exam, in a passage, you will be getting total 4 questions. This is one passage, 4 questions. Try to do other question first. Even if your first question is main idea, do it at the end. Do question number 2, 3, 4 first, and then do passage based question. Passage based question means anything which needs you to understand the entire passage. So with question number 2, 3, 4, you must have read some different paragraphs. You will automatically have some idea of the passage. Point number 1. Secondly, when you solve these questions, main idea, focus more on the first and last paragraph, right? I'll tell you the techniques, but just make sure you read the passage once for at least 2 minutes. See, for any question you'll have to read the passage for 2 minutes. Highlight keywords which are important if it is given. Overall theme of the passage, what is the main topic? What is main topic? Main topic is anything which is part of every paragraph, right? Common theme, common word in every common words in every paragraph, right? Maybe you can do process of elimination, but then I would say just understanding the main topic is generally more than enough to find the answer of main idea questions, right? Now let us quickly understand the strategy before we look at some good examples, students. Now, how to read a passage, right? See, whenever you get these questions, main idea, primary purpose, make sure you understand the gist of each and every paragraph. You don't have to do it separately. You will, for example, if there are, see, there are 3 paragraphs, there are 4 questions. For question number 4, you will read the last paragraph. Maybe for question number 3, first paragraph, 2, second paragraph. Automatically, while solving questions, you're reading different locations and you'll have overall idea of the passage. So you just need to understand the basic summary, basic main topic of every paragraph. Now, overall flow also you need to know, okay, what happened, then what happened, then what happened. It will help you in identifying main idea very quickly if you will know the flow. Understanding flow might take time, so even if you want to skip this for a while, it will work for most of the questions, but not every question. Through this technique, maybe 90% questions you can get correct, but if you know the summary of each and every paragraph, overall flow of the passage, you will get everything correct for sure. And then main topic. What is main topic, students? Which is given in majority of the passage, which is part of every paragraph. So you also need to know whether the passage is informative or opinion based. Informative means generally science passages or economics passages are informative, whereas history, philosophy, right, are opinion based. Author will give his personal opinion as well. So author's personal opinion is known as opinion based passage. Got it? Okay. If the passage is opinion based, you need to know whether the opinion is negative, negative or positive. These words will help you. And of course, very, very important point which we are actually going to apply in today's session is this one. First line of first paragraph. When I say first line, doesn't mean just like first line, full stop to full stop. So basically first 2 to 3 lines of first paragraph and first few or last few lines of last paragraph. This is a very important location to find answers to main idea and primary purpose questions. Avoid comparative language, right? If you have than, as, such kind of words, or extreme language words like only, always, never, right? Superlative degrees like see here, solely, one more word, superlative degrees like best, largest, etc., right? Avoid these kind of words as well. Now what is the technique, students, for any question? Whenever you get a main idea question, of course you have to have some idea of the whole passage with other questions. So if my question number 1 is main idea, I'll solve question number 2, 3, 4 first and then come back to 1 so that I have a better idea of the passage. Now for main idea, students, the 2-minute technique is that you just have to read first few lines and last few lines, understand the meaning, pick up the keywords and see which option says the same thing exactly, and this will work for almost every question we are going to solve today and tomorrow. So let's get started. Two divergent definitions have dominated sociologists' discussion of the nature of ethnicity. So we're saying there are two definitions of ethnicity. Ethnicity means locality or community, right? What is my ethnicity? We all are Indians, that is our ethnicity. So the first definition is on the primordial unchanging character of ethnicity, that is that you are a member of certain groups which has similar culture, similar ancestors. So first is like you're part of a culture, that is your ethnicity. A different conception, so for example within India also we can say I'm North Indian, I'm South Indian, right? I'm from West India, I'm from East India, like that is also ethnic. So part of culture, like our culture is similar. Second is a different concept, is where you're part of some interest groups, as in I want to do, for example, only business. So I want to be part of people in the community where people belong, or I want to be member of a business community, for example, or I want to become a sports person. So wherever sports people hang out, I want to be part of that place or that group. So that's what we are saying, that second is relating to economic position or goals, more like that. So we have, so there are two definitions of ethnicity. Now let's read last few lines. So here we are talking about that how some people also have been part of political system and were part of civil rights movement. And this is one of the movements we are giving example of, Cinco de Mayo. And every year Mexican Americans celebrate this particular festival as fervently as many Irish American people embrace St. Patrick's Day, with both holidays having been reinvented in the context of US and linked to ideal symbols, heroes of the United States. So basically, one ethnicity is part of culture, so different definitions of ethnicity and more detail about that. That's what we are discussing. Let's quickly solve this. So in their definitions of the nature of ethnicity, sociologists have underestimated the power of the primordial human need to belong. What they have underestimated, this is not the main idea. Maybe they might have done that, but that's not the main idea, right? Main idea is different definitions of ethnicity. What is ethnicity? Ethnicity is best defined. So in first few lines, we are trying to define ethnicity. So far so good. As a dynamic process that combines cultural component, which was part of first definition, political and economic interest, second definition. So it kind of covers what we are talking about here, right? So B can be the correct answer. See, in the US, United States, in the 20th century, ethnic groups have begun to organize in order to further their political and economic. So people are trying to further, no, we are just defining ethnicity. That's what happening, isn't it, in first few lines? So this is also very narrow, even if it is written somewhere and we may not have read it. Ethnicity in United States has been significantly changed. We don't know if it has changed by civil rights. Maybe it is civil rights. Something is written, but again, it only covers this paragraph. One thing we need to understand, students, is broader question as in, if the question is from the whole passage, then you need to choose an option which covers the overall point. So every paragraph talks about ethnicity here. right? May not talk about civil rights movement, it's only there in second paragraph, for example, but ethnicity is a common point. So, and specific question, if a question is from a certain paragraph, then narrow answer is fine. So it's not like narrow options are wrong, they're definitely mentioned, but they will never be correct in questions like main idea or primary purpose questions, right? So we just basically got our answer B from reading first few lines and last few lines, and most of the time, 99% of the times, your correct answer will just come from these two places. And this is your 2-minute technique where you can solve main idea questions like this. Let's implement this with the second question. The central idea of the passage is that. What is the central idea of the passage? Let's read the first few lines. Creativity, right? We are talking about creativity. What is it we are saying? First few lines. So creativity is at once our most precious resource and most inexhaustible one. Inexhaustible means something which is not going to end soon. As anyone who has ever spent any time with children knows, every single human being is born creative. Every human being is innately endowed with the ability to combine and recombine data, perceptions. So something what creativity is, right, that we are talking about. What fosters, what increases creativity? Presence of other creative people, right? First paragraph, let's read carefully. As in, the big myth is that if you will be alone, you will be more creative. That's not the case. In fact, creativity is a social process. Our biggest creative breakthroughs comes when we learn from people, compete with them, collaborate. So basically creativity comes when people are around you. Alone you can't be creative. Okay, let's read for last few lines. um, so, for example, all these professions, artists, musicians, techies, journalists, educators, those of us who work with our minds, that leaves a group that I term the other 66% who toil in low wage, rote and rotten jobs. They have jobs at all in which their creativity is subjugated. So, there are certain jobs where creativity is not needed, or it is ignored, or it is wasted. Creativity itself is not in danger, it's flourishing. Like, a lot of people are creative in many fields. Arts and culture in our rapidly, I think, revitalizing cities, but we still have a long way to go if we want to build a truly creative society. That overall everyone is creative, like that. That supports and rewards creativity of each and every one of us. So of course there are some people who are still creative, but we need to increase creativity. So first paragraph defines what creativity is. It's a social process, it needs people, and for creative society we need a creative society, and we need to do much more on that. So let us see which option talks. So creativity is clearly the main topic, students, here, right? Let's read option A. Social interaction is necessary to nurture creativity. Yes, that's something we are saying in the first paragraph. I'll keep it. Creativity and ideas are gradually declining in all of our societies. See, it might be written in one or two places that some jobs do not need them, but just this one line does not represent the central idea of the passage. It's the overall main topic. Creativity is declining is only written there in first 2 3 4 paragraph. It's not written. In fact, most of the paragraphs are talking about how a social group is necessary, right, for creativity, right? A group is everywhere else. So no, the creativity divide is widening in societies in line with socio-economic. No, we are saying nothing to do with socio-economic, right? Again, too narrow or wrong. More people should work in jobs that engage their creative. There's no suggestion, we are just saying that there are certain jobs where creativity is subjugated or ignored, but creativity is still there even if there are certain jobs, and we can make more creative society by taking some efforts. But there is no suggestion that it should be done. The non-creative jobs should not be there, nothing like that is mentioned. So remove option which are out of scope, which are not even given. Remove option which are narrow or which are opposite to the given information. For that, again, right, how will I know this? I know you have not read second, third, fourth paragraph right now, but in exam when you will be solving this passage, there will be other questions also which will require you to read 2 to 3 lines. So solve them first, then come to this question, and then you will get it correct. So again, we got this answer from first paragraph mainly, the main idea, the main topic, isn't it? So first paragraph is very crucial. Just to get better idea, you can read last few lines, but this is how you will be getting all your answers. Previous question also, definition of ethnicity or creativity, social process. So same first paragraph talks that. So make sure you read first paragraph really well to get the answer of main idea questions correct within 2 minutes every single time. Question number 3, what is the main idea that the author is trying to highlight in the passage? Let us read. Let us just read certain questions or certain lines. More and more companies, government agencies, education institutions, organize, so basically many companies, organizations in short, are today in the grip of new phenomenon, metric fixation. The key component of metric fixation are the belief that it is possible and desirable to replace professional judgment with numerical indicators or of comparative performance based on standardized data. As in, your boss will not don't have to check your boss will not check your performance, rather through metric fixation in your computer, through your phone, right? We can just overall compare everyone's performance and we'll get some standardized data, right? That's how, based on metrics, we can simply know without observing every individual. And that the best way to motivate people within these organizations is by attaching towards penalties to their measured performance, like that. So rewards and everything. So the topic is metric fixation, right? That's the topic. So I, in my option, this main word should be there. What about metric fixation? Let's read the last few paragraphs carefully. Short termism is another negative. As in, measured performance encourages US sociologist called the imperious immediacy of interest. As in, if you will be checked in terms of numbers, you will be immediately maybe interested. But where the actor's paramount concern with the foreseen immediate consequence excludes consideration of further other consequences. In short, advancing short-term goals at the expense of long-term range consideration, this problem is endemic to publicly traded corporation that sacrifice long, so in terms of long term research, if I tell you you have to work hard today and keep working hard and you'll get the results 5 years later, then this metric system won't work. And I'll say I'll keep seeing the metrics and everything if you're going right or not, and then accordingly I'll keep giving you feedback, but you'll not be interested. But if I tell you, okay, 5 of you will solve this question, whoever will get maximum questions correct will get some reward for me. So today is the reward, right? So for that, metric system will work. So basically in last few lines we are finding something negative about this metric fixation or metric system, that it may not work in every situation, right? In last few lines. So what is the main idea? To tell us what is metric fixation, metric system, and what are the negative sides of it, isn't it? So let's read the options, students. All kinds of organizations are now relying on metrics to measure performance and to give. Yes, maybe all kinds of organizations written in the very first line. I'll just keep it because it is mentioned. And to give rewards or punishments. Long-term organizational goals should not be ignored for short-term measures of organization. See, there's no suggestion. Always remove suggestion kind of language, right? They're saying generally negative effect is that short-term goals only we keep in mind in metric fixation, but it should be not be ignored. Nowhere, no one is saying that. Performance measurement needs to be precise and cost effective. Nothing about that. This is not a cost effective, so this is out of scope, right? This is not even mentioned. Evaluating performance by using measurable performance metrics may misguide organizational goal achievement, right? Whatever we want to achieve, long-term goals and everything, that may not happen. So we are definitely talking about the metric system, and its negative thing is the last paragraph. Option A only covers the first paragraph, whereas option D covers first and last. Overall topic, main idea. This is much more generic in nature. As I told you, broader question, broader answer. Specific question, specific answer. So A and D both are quite close. Very good option will end up choosing D and not A, because comparatively D is better, students. Are you getting? How would you solve it? Again, here also we took the help of first few lines and last few lines of first paragraph, last paragraph. But then sometimes you can get two very good options and you just need to choose the better one. Question number 4. The main conclusion of the passage is that the new technology has. See, so main conclusion. Conclusion is generally at the end. Conclusion of the passage. So we'll read last few lines much more carefully than first few. So here the question is very clear. Conclusion, whenever you see, you have to read the last paragraph much more carefully. I use a smartphone GPS to find my way through this cobblestone maze someplace in search of a handmade machine, which was the printing press, right? That's what he's saying. I was looking because it was one of the greatest invention. Fine. Now, last paragraph, what he's saying, the hope of the iPhone and the internet in general was that it would free people in closed societies. But the failure of the Arab Spring and the continued suppression of ideas in North Korea, China has not borne that out. So we are saying, oh, maybe iPhone can be a comparable latest technology just like printing press, but then the things, for example, what's happening in North Korea, Iran, right, all these Palestine and Iran war and everything, we don't think iPhone is able to stop that, isn't it? But printing press could stop those wars or those situations, could control those situations those times, is what we are saying. So iPhone is still young. It has certainly been one of the most important world changing success. It has been a good successful product, but as the CEO himself says, I'm not sure if the world changed for the better with the iPhone as it did with the printing press. Right? So printing press definitely changed the world for the better, but iPhone is maybe just changing the world for maybe like making us feel busier, making slight few things easier like Google Maps and all, but still comparatively printing press did better things for the society compared to iPhone, is what we are trying to say. So what is the main conclusion about the new technology? New technology as in iPhone, that iPhone has not really done much compared to printing press. That's what we are trying to say, right? So let us see. Some advantages, but these are outweighed by, see, we are not even saying advantages in the last paragraph. The conclusion does not highlight that. So far not proved as successful as the printing press. Definitely exactly this we are saying. So don't you think these questions look like direct questions that I still have to read one paragraph or maximum two paragraphs for this? They are still 2-minute questions just like any other question. Being disappointing because it has changed society too rapidly. Again, we don't know if it has changed too rapidly. It has changed for the better, but rapidly we don't know. Being more wasteful than the printing press because people spend more time daydreaming. It's a fact, we daydream, waste time, distracted, but it's not mentioned in the conclusion portion from where the question has been asked, students, isn't it? Sorry, so option B will be the correct answer. This is out of scope, right, for now. Question number 5. With these 4 examples, you must have gotten the idea that central idea, this concept, will help you with questions like primary purpose, organizational structure, or tone of the passage. First, number 1, students. Secondly, broader question, broader answer, as in overall, the correct option should cover overall topic, what's going on, rather than narrow area or narrow topic. A paragraph, just a paragraph is not enough. So remove narrow options, out of scope options, like that. Focus more on the wordings of first and last paragraph than anything else, and you will be able to solve these questions within 2 minutes. The central idea of this passage is that let's read the central idea. So again, central idea, if we are talking about, let us read the first few lines and the last few lines. This year alone, more than 8,600 stores could close. These anchor outlets, real estate developers once stumbled over themselves to court. Already there have been 5,300 retail closing this year, right? So basically a lot of shops are going to, 300 stores will close, right? Shops are going to close. Why are they going to close? We are saying it's basically because of, in second paragraph we are basically saying it's because of mall and everything. It's a workplace, it's a gathering place, etc, etc. Fine. In second, third paragraph we are talking about mall. Now what we are saying in the last few lines, a growing number of Americans, however, don't see the need to go to any Macy's at all. Macy's, a particular shop, particular grocery shop. Our digital lives are frictionless and ruthlessly efficient, right? I can order anything through phone, through Big Basket, through many other places, right? Blinkit and everything, with retail and romance available at a click. Malls were designed for leisure, abundance, ambling, as in for just time pass, for recreation, to meet friends, right? Just for that. You parked and planned to spend some time. Today, much of that time has been given over to busier lives, second jobs, apps, and apps that let you swipe right instead of haunt the food court, right? You don't have to go through the food court. What should I eat? You can just go through Swiggy, Zomato, and order for yourself whatever you like, right? So we have busier lives, we don't like to even go to the malls that often, we have maybe second jobs if we are free with first job, right? Like that. So malls were built for patterns of social interaction, but social interaction don't really exist, so even the importance of malls is also decreasing day by day, correct? So let's solve this. The closure of malls has affected the economic. See, right now malls are not closing, right now retail stores, see, look at the first option, those are closing, but we are saying because that is replaced by malls, but even malls are on the decline, right? So it's not like they have closed, but they will close because social interaction is not there. Has affected the economic and social life of, also it has affected the middle economic life of middle class America. It's nowhere mentioned, it's extra information. Maybe social life, but not economic life. It's good if you're not going to the mall, you're saving money, isn't it? In the advantages of malls outweighs, there are more advantage. No, we are saying even malls were there for social interaction, nobody likes to interact these days, so even malls are going to decrease, like that. Malls used to perform a social function that has been lost. Yes, that definitely we are saying in the last paragraph. Malls are closing down because people have found alternate ways to shop. So malls, see, people have definitely found alternate ways, but they are not closing down. See, what's written in the first, a growing number of Americans don't see the need to go to Macy's at all, as in any particular mall at all. Now, they have not started closing yet, right? They might close. If the next paragraph I'll write, then I'll say okay, they might start closing in next couple of years if people don't go, but we are seeing number of people going to the mall is decreasing, isn't it? So this is extra information. Again, only retail stores, single shops are closing because of malls, but even in malls also the audience which goes on weekends and all is also decreasing, isn't it? So option C is the correct answer, students. Question number 6. Try to solve this on your own. The central idea of the passage would be undermined if, right? So see, we don't, this is a two-layer question. First, you need to find the central idea and then see which option will weaken it, undermine it, right? Two-layer question. So first of all, what is the central idea? Let us read first few lines and last few lines. So first paragraph states that the second-hand September campaign led by Oxfam seeks to encourage shopping at a local organization and charities as alternatives to fast fashion brands such as Primark, Boohoo in the name of saving our planet. So basically, second-hand clothing campaign, something is going on, and like generally we just online we scroll through many things shops key, okay, we don't end up buying, but we are saying through this unintentional scrolling we're actually contributing to more pollution compared to aviation, right? Basically because internet also comes from electricity, like for to generate electricity it requires some fossil fuels and everything, so that way just randomly using internet is also creating a lot of pollution. It's not eco-friendly thing. Okay, the second hand September campaign is happening at local shops and something like that. Now what we are saying in the last few paragraphs, luxury brands would rather not circulate their latest season stock around the globe to be sold at cheaper price, which is why companies like ThredUp, see, luxury brands will not circulate their latest season stock, as in whatever is going on latest, their fashion, luxury brands like Gucci, Versace, everything, they will not sell them at a cheaper price, right? They are going to charge premium for that. That's why companies like ThredUp, a US fashion resale marketplace, have not yet caught on the on in the UK. There will always be a market for consignment, but there's a whole generation of people who have been taught that only buying new products is the norm, as in a lot of people don't like to buy second hand thing, right? That's why company like ThredUp are not working. They are doing recyclable, they are selling recyclable material, but nobody is interested. A second hand luxury goods are not in their psyche, right? A lot of us are also like that. Ben Whitaker, director of liquidation firm Beastock, told Prospect that unless recycling becomes cost effective and filters into mass production, right, so basically it has to become cost effective, mass production should be there with right technology, so high-end retailers would, so high-end luxury brands would rather put their brand before sustainability. Till then, right, things will be expensive and etc, those things. So that means what we are saying, that people still prefer high quality clothing, right? People don't prefer second hand things. So when people are going to buy second hand things, if it is cost effective and high quality both, then only second hand things, right, are going to be bought by people. So see, question is central idea of the whole passage. First of all, so Primark and Boo are not even the overall point. How many times do you see these brand names? Only in first paragraph. So Primark and Boo are not going to represent the main idea, let alone weakening it or undermining it. So their clothes for vintage, no. The point is that their second hand campaign is there, but then luxury brands, see first line, this luxury brands are not going to put their latest stock in cheaper price. They're going to put the brand first. So that means they're going to, in the name of brand, they're going to sell expensive things because we are expensive brand, and not focus on sustainability like that. That is what they are not going to sell second hand or recyclable material just to be eco-friendly. Customer bought all their clothes online. Not all, but people do that online scrolling a lot, which is not eco-friendly is what we are saying, but not all. Extreme option. Second hand stores, if second hand stores, be it normal store, be it luxury store, sold only highest. If second hand stores will sell high quality clothes, then the central idea will be undermined. What is the central idea? That luxury brands are not going to sell their latest season at a cheaper price. They are going to put their brand first before sustainability, unless there are cost effective, right, last two lines, cost effective ways to make, right, with right technology to make good clothes, recyclable material. For example, these clothes, for example, some people have worn out, so you're not selling exactly that piece, you're recycling the cloth material, making a new piece out of it. That is also recycling. Clothes were not thrown and burnt in landfills. That might be given in the option somewhere in the previous paragraph, but not the main point. We are saying that till we do not get high quality second hand clothes, people are not going to be interested, right? It's neither eco-friendly nor cost effective anything. So second hand clothing plus cost effective, two things is right, is going to make people buy second hand or recyclable clothing like that. So C option will be correct. Again, I got the answer by understanding first and last paragraph quickly. Even after this technique of 2 minute students, you might still face challenges just because you're not either able to read it faster, or secondly you didn't understand the language in one go and you might have to read some sentences twice. So even no matter how many techniques we learn, what is the takeaway of this class? That if your reading is weak, if you're reading slowly, or if you're not understanding anything in one go, in one reading, if you have to read something twice, if you find the language of passages difficult, no technique is going to work for you. So first work on your reading. Spend half an hour to 1 hour daily just on reading some editorials, because this language, these wordings are quite similar to that. No need to read novels at all. They are not going to help you much. And then when you learn all these 2 minute techniques for central idea, main idea, primary purpose, inference questions, that certainly is going to work for you. So why technique is not the first step, but the skill is the first step. Skill, reading skill, techniques, practice. That's how you're going to reach your 100% accuracy with any question, right? So thank you students for watching. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Make sure if you have any doubts or questions, or anything you want me to cover or take class on in the next few weeks, you write that on the comment in the comments below. At the same time, this was just a concept class, how to approach a main idea question. Tomorrow we are going to solve these questions together in live class, so make sure you're present at 9:30 p.m. Yeah, so right, so just watch this and then be on time. Let us solve some 10 to 15 questions together to be very confident with main idea questions, so that you do not have to work harder or practice more. Maybe you have to practice few questions on your own, but this and tomorrow's class will take care of everything. Thank you so much everyone. Bye bye, see you soon.